woo.
Hello and welcome to my channel. Vice Rhino here. Cirrus over there.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm here. I realized belatedly that I had my alerts turned off on my own channel for months now, and that's something that I should probably change and fix and
Might be a good idea.
unfuck up.
Might be a good idea. So yeah, Fenix says a lot less echoey today. Yeah, I have some acoustic panels up. It's still echoier than I would like because the ceiling in this room is not like my last office had kind of like this soft tile ceiling. Like it wasn't actually acoustic stuff, but it was soft. And whereas here it's just drywall or plaster or something. Like it's normal hard ceiling material. And yeah. Why is it unavailable? Why is what unavailable? Oh, the hats? Are the hats still timed out? Wait, someone gifted subscriptions. Hype Train just started. Yay, Hype Train. Thank you. Clueless Expert gave out one community gift sub. Fennec the Rabbit resubscribed for 13 months. Thank you, Fennec.
Loki said, did Rhino move recently? He not only moved recently, but before we got here, he was regaling me with his moving woes.
Yeah.
He misses his neighbor, everybody.
No. Fuck you. No, it wasn't drop ceiling. It was just a weird soft tile. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, there's the hats. I didn't have the hats prepared, but I have found them, so I at least know where they are. So I will be back in a second.
You know, now that he's gone, there's a thought that has popped up in my head. Whoever buys Rhino's old house gets to deal with those neighbors as well. And I guarantee you the shitty neighbors are going to spend a decent bit of time trying to convince them that the property line is where they pretend it is. Oh, dear.
Hats. Let's see. Which hat should I do first?
Like a true neighbor, they somehow managed to piss off a Canadian. Like a true neighbor, anger is there.
Oh,
Welcome back, Rhino.
To be somewhat fair, I'm sure I pissed them off quite a bit too.
Yeah, but retaliatory pissing is different than straight up pissing.
Yeah.
Alpha Mario says Vice Rhino was a TF2 player this whole time.
I don't know what that means.
Team Fortress 2, one of its most famous aspects is the hat system.
Okay, sure. So yeah, a little update for everybody. Everybody who was yelling at me to go to the doctor when I said that my toe was still black. So my toe is still black. I have gone to the doctor, but not for my black toe.
What did you go for the doctor for then?
For this fucking thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How did you... That is... I mean, if anything, that might be able to pleasure a woman even more now. It's like it's kind of ribbed for pleasure.
I would have to actually be able to do something with it for it to accomplish that. No, I went to the doctor with it. What did I do? It's just an infected cuticle. I don't like it. I've had these before. It's never gotten this bad. I'm on antibiotics for it. I've never had to take antibiotics for an infected cuticle. Like this is actually why I stopped biting my fingernails, because like when you bite your nails, this is something that happens all the time, but it's never gotten this bad before. So yeah, I went to the doctor for that. I did call my doctor to make an appointment for my toe, and the receptionist was like, okay, yeah, that sounds like not a serious bruise, so the soonest we can see you for something not serious is like a week from now. So my appointment for that is next Tuesday. It is still black, but after I sent the picture into the receptionist. She was just like, yeah, no, it just looks like a bruise. We'll keep your appointment, but it's nothing. But yeah.
Well, that's better than insurance denying it halfway through getting treated.
Yeah, and what's great is I was thinking about because Doug Ford in Ontario has cut funding to our healthcare system, and as part of the funding cut, the hospital in my area used to be open 24 hours. It is now only open like from 10 a.m. till like 9 p.m. And they don't do x-rays on the weekend. And I don't know, it's not technically an emergency room. It used to be. Now it's an urgent care center. So like if you're having a heart attack, they will tell you to drive half an hour to St. Catharines because they're just an urgent care center. They can't do heart attack stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, one of the side effects of this is that if you want to get in and out really quick, you have to get there early. So like I was the first one in line today, and I was in and out in 45 minutes. And that's including the time that I spent waiting to get in. So that's really quick. Like normally emergency room or whatever, that's like 4 hours minimum. So that was good. But as I was standing outside in the freezing cold, huddled up with a lineup of like sick people behind me, also in the freezing cold, huddled up, I was just thinking about how like, I just know that a picture of people doing something like this is going to surface after the next time the Liberals win an election in Ontario. And they're going to post that picture and be like, this is what socialist healthcare looks like. I'm like, no, that's what socialist healthcare looks like when you gut its funding. If you actually fund it, it's great.
That's the thing that conservatives have been doing for years, though, because that, like, I get that complaint from friends of mine in the UK with the NHS, where like the Tories will gut the funding to the NHS and then immediately go on and say, why would you want the government? Look at how disheveled we all are, despite the fact that you pay us a lot of money. Look at how the government doesn't handle anything well, like the post office that we gut as well. Why would you want that being controlled by the government? Like, I don't know, maybe because it's better than God. I just had to, when I mentioned this to you, I haven't told it to the audience yet, but I had to re-record the audio for my video essay. I did it once. Half of the audio came out fine. Half of it came out blown out. So I had to re-record all the audio for the video essay again. And part of the audio for that essay, now that I've had to reread everything and redo parts of it for the re-record, I'm reminded that there's a whole bit in there where I go over for-profit hospitals and their incentives. And it turns out the more profit incentives you have in the hospital, the worse the mortality rates get. It's weird, right?
Yeah. If only someone could have predicted that.
We don't have to predict it anymore, though. We have data that proves it.
And thanks to a certain Nintendo character, the mortality rate is not exclusive to patients.
Nope, it's not.
Okay,
Luigi, that's not a Bowser.
Travis is apparently testing my lag by like posting the exact time. I just do want to say that like in this post about how he can't read a clock because he posted it 10 seconds early, which I was wondering about because I'm like, mine still says 8:39 and you're saying it's 7:40. Like time zones, sure, we're off by an hour, but the minutes should be fine. But I misread the post about you're misreading things as wow, can't read a cock. And then I was going to make a too much information joke in the video where I've already shown my gross, swollen, pus-filled finger to the stream, so...
Look, cock's easy to read. Is hard, doing it right. Is not hard, doing it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, you haven't reminded me. I have a puddle story.
Dog!
So, since we've moved... we're deciding to kind of reset the potty training with Puddles. Because so the whole issue with her, if you're not familiar with the story, is that she was initially raised for the first like 8 months of her life in an 8th floor apartment. So the options were for toilet training either we go wait for the elevator, go down 8 floors, go outside, wait for her to pee, then go back inside, wait for the elevator to get, which it was a really fucking slow elevator, and go all the way back up like every 2 hours regularly in order to potty train properly, or you just use pee pads. And so she was trained on pee pads, which had the side effect of when Puddles moved in with me, she was used to the idea of like, okay, yeah, I am supposed to pee outside, but if I'm not, like, if it's not convenient, then I can just pee on something that is on the floor. And so it became a case of like, she peed on people's sweaters, she peed on socks, she peed on our floor mats for like wiping your shoes off on your way in the door. She peed on one of the kids' mattresses because their bed was like so close to the floor, the mattress was so thin that like, that's a thing on the floor, I will go pee on that. Because like if she had to pee, she wouldn't come and get us, she would just find somewhere that she thought was appropriate to pee and pee there. And that's a hard thing to train out of her, because like by the time we would notice that she had done something, it's too late for her to make the connection. So
yeah, dogs don't really understand conditionals at all.
Yes, so you can't really do the whole like the ideal way to do that is like you catch them while they are peeing and like physically lift them outside and be like, that's where you do that. Good girl here, bad girl there. Not, you know, like minimize the bad girl thing, but like you reward the good behavior sort of thing. So we decided that when we came here, this would be a fresh restart, because like once a dog pees somewhere, the smell stays there. Like, and you know, as much as we were really thorough about cleaning it all the time, I'm sure there were places that like we missed. And so she would go back there, and like eventually the what's it called, like the mats by the door, it just got to the point where like she hasn't peed on it, but it still smells like pee, so now we have to buy a new mat. But I don't, like, these things aren't cheap, I'm not buying a new one every 4 months. So when we moved here, we're like, okay, well, we're just gonna put her in diapers for the first couple weeks because we've got a yard we can just let her out in. So once she realizes she can go outside anytime she wants, and outside is where she should pee, and she should come and get us to let us know that she has to pee outside, then we can take the diapers off. I don't know what it is. She didn't do this with diapers at the old house, but at this house, when wearing a diaper, she also plays the floor is lava. She will not walk on the floor. Like for a while, there was like a pillow that we had put on the floor that she claimed, and that was her pillow to sit on. And we're like, okay, whatever, we'll let her sit on the pillow. But then eventually, like, gotta put the pillow away. So we moved the pillow, and she like found someone's sweater that got left on the floor and curled up on that. And that is her not on the floor thing. And she would just sit on that, looking terrible. And eventually, like, we took the sweater off, and I come out one morning, let her out. She would walk on the floor to get to her spots, but then once she was in a spot, she would not move at all, no matter what you did. And so I came out after letting her out one day, and I saw her sitting there like this.
She looks so guilty.
Yeah. She just, that's her brand new octopus stuffy that one of our kids got for her that she absolutely loves. Yeah, so she just like grabbed that, put it next to her, that pillow thing that is not for dogs to sit on, and she is clearly not comfortable. But yeah, she plays the floor is lava when she's got her diaper on. She hasn't had her diaper on all day today. She's been doing pretty good. She's like, we'll let her out, and when we see her pee, we'll like let her run around without the diaper for a little while, because we all feel bad for her when she's sitting there like this. Because she would sit like that all day. But,
it feels Jesus Christ. I can just imagine what's going through her head of like, you caught me.
Lord of Uzkalek says she looks like the survivor of a ship sinking.
Yeah, but the sink is the ship is the pillow.
Yeah.
The ship is just the pillow at this point.
Yeah. But scrungly. What does scrungly mean, Fennec? You say she looks scrungly? Like
Is that...
this is her freshly groomed. Like, what does scrungly mean?
I've only ever heard Brits say that word, and I still don't know what it means.
Okay. Yeah, she does look pathetic. Yeah, she looks pathetic. Is scrungly pathetic?
Maybe? I don't know.
I'm gonna look up scrungly. Urban Dictionary. It's always great when that's the first result for a search. Used mostly to describe an animal that's cute but a little off-putting in some way. Okay, yeah, I'll agree that picture makes her look scrungly with that definition.
Hello?
Neuromdiput says Stream Elements still says to donate to Project Share. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I have disabled that. I saved the disabling of that. I don't know what's going on with that because oh no, you know what? I think I just figured it out. I will bet you that I've been accidentally logging into the wrong YouTube account because I don't normally stream to the YouTube thing. Is it doing it on Twitch? I don't think it's doing it on Twitch, so that's probably what happened. So log into YouTube through that account. Which one? No, what? That is all of my YouTube accounts except for the one that I go live on. Why is that?
Iggy Boggy says she has a natural scrungle about her. A natural scrungle. I don't even know what it means, but it sounds insulting.
I kind of love it.
I need to be right back 1 sec. I didn't realize my drink was almost empty. Problem of drinking in a thermos. Fixing it now.
Ah, there we go. There's my live account. Chatbot. Timers. Donation bot, turn off. Tip bot, turn on. No, not add new timer. What the fuck did I do that for? Tip bot does not have Project Share in it. There we go. That should be good. Oh, hey, it's got a little graphic thingy to show me that I'm currently logged into the thing that is live. Derailing the stream for $2 is pretty good value for money. Have you met me, Neuromdiputs? You can derail me for anything. Like this one's free. But also I'm waiting for Sirs to get back before we get into the news. So yeah. Scrungly. Oh, Twitch says to register to vote still. Okay, well, yeah, that's fine.
All right, I live.
You live.
Okay. I live.
Hats off. Let's switch hats then.
Hats off to you, Southern Looker.
Bye, Ducky. Hello, Hat Dick.
Hat Dick?
Well, I mean, the flower is a plant's genitals. So
Blessy.
Whether it's male or female, I don't know. But hat dick sounds funnier than
Hatgina.
Yeah, hatgina, sure.
If you call it a hatgina, there's going to be somebody who gets pissed about like Hillary Clinton supporters or something. I don't know.
What?
You don't remember that? Years ago, there were people who were, I don't remember all the details for it, but they were walking around, I think it was New York, with
the
like,
pussy hats on?
The pussy hats, yes.
I thought that was a woman's march. Didn't that like not have anything really to do with Hillary? Like that was already organized before the election. It just kind of became about that because of Trump winning.
There's this funny thing that happens with conservatives where they don't think that far ahead.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so first article that we're going to cover today comes to us from The Conversation. It's very long, and I'm not actually going to read the whole thing, but it's an interesting topic that comes up in my household quite frequently, so I thought we'd give a little talk about.
Okay.
So, the curious joy of being wrong. Intellectual humility means being open to new information and willy.
And Willy?
I think it's just got too long.
I think it's
of
like it's willing for something.
Willingness to, yeah, no. I use Pocket to like kind of make everything look the same, so that when I crop it or whatever, I don't have to redo it for every stream. Someone redeemed a hydrate, and now Van Briggs is saying gotta water the flower dick.
The flower dick does need it. How's it going, Senshini?
Yeah.
Also, real quick on my end, I didn't catch these when they happened because stream was starting and all their stuff. Clueless Expert, Myrick Rand, Loki the Tired Trickster, Jump Point. Thank you all for resubscribing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I think the subtitle for this was just too long for Pocket's programming or whatever.
So long it's out of pocket.
Willing to change your mind is the full thing. So yeah, this is basically the whole article is about how it's the conversation. So some guy telling his personal story of like this how this sort of thing affected his life, and you know he talks about how you know he grew up conservative evangelical Christian, and when his brother died young, that caused him to have a crisis of faith, which in therapy he worked through a bunch of stuff, and part of that was like coming to grips with the fact that he was wrong about some things.
Okay.
He doesn't specify, like he doesn't say that like, oh, I deconverted from Christianity or I left the evangelical movement or anything, like, so he doesn't explicitly say anything like that, but that is kind of the vibe that you get from reading it. But one of the things that they bring up that comes up in my house quite frequently, though, is so I've got 5 kids. They argue with each other constantly. And oftentimes the crux of the argument is just a misunderstanding where somebody thinks one thing but is wrong about it, but are unwilling to acknowledge that they are wrong about it. Hi, you okay? Work stuff? Okay. Yeah, so they're unwilling to acknowledge that they were wrong about it. And more than once, I have stopped the kids and been like, hey, you know what? I love being wrong. You know why? It's when I find out that I was wrong about something, that means I learned a new thing, and learning is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I remember being a kid and thinking that if my opinions never changed, that was a good thing, because it meant that I had always had the right opinions all along.
Yeah, but Cyrus, you and I were both raised creationists, so we know that that's baked into that whole thing.
I know that, but I was also too young to link those things together. Like that concept didn't track for me. So like now that I'm an adult, when I am wrong about something, it makes me happy. And on top of that, I still have to war with that part of me that wants to defend my being right.
Yeah,
but knowing that that's a stupid part of me that needs to shut up.
A regular part of my research process is I have to kind of pay attention to how I'm reacting to the results of my searches. Like when I'm searching on, like, whether it be like Google Scholar or just regular Google or whatever, if I see something that, like, a headline that doesn't agree with what I thought was going to be the conclusion, and it's from a source that I would consider to be at least somewhat reputable, my gut reaction is, okay, well, I'm just going to scroll past that one and look for the one that I do like. And I've had to actively fight against that part of myself. And it's a good thing too, because there are things that I've said in previous videos that I later found out were wrong. And probably my favorite instance of that is there's when creationists talk about about junk DNA. One of the things that one of my go-tos was that there was a study that, like, found through applying mathematics of some kind that's beyond me, is that given humanity's mutation rate, like how quickly we mutate, and given how long it takes for purifying selection to get rid of harmful mutations, our genome cannot be more than 15% functional. Like, 85% of it has to be completely without function. And that was the conclusion of the paper. And it was like, it was great for my purposes, and it worked really well. It was easy to explain. And it says exactly what we need to.
That junk DNA doesn't technically exist?
Yeah, it depends what you mean by junk DNA. There certainly are parts of the genome that are entirely functionless. But it also depends on how you're defining function, because biology is tricky, and stuff like this actually makes a huge difference. But no, the thing that overturned that, the thing that I like about this is that, like, there was another study that came out that pointed out, like, oh no, this is actually not the case. It turns out the math is a little bit off, and if you take this into account, then it's actually fine, and you can have up to like 90% functional genome and everything is fine. And when I first read that, my gut reaction was like, oh man, if like this is saying that it could be like 90% functional, that's just going to play right into the creationist hands. That's not the answer that I want. But then a part of the story is that one of the peer reviewers for the paper that overturned the original paper that I like to use was the lead author of the original paper. And the feedback that he gave was some of the, like, it was essentially the highest praise that you can get in the form of feedback. It was like he recommended publication without change, and he was super excited to be proven wrong, because it's new. Like, I learned a new thing. Now I am. It's
new information that you didn't have before. I know for mine, there's actually my recent I'm wrong about a thing has nothing to do with anything so grandiose, and it's gonna make my entire audience and you especially just kind of cringe for a moment. Turns out I was wrong about building commander decks. So the story behind this goes, there is a professional Magic player, like, plays for money, not just makes YouTube videos and therefore makes money off those, but like his performance at events directly relates to his paycheck. And he did the math a few years ago on how many lands to run in a limited deck. And limited decks are 40 card decks that you build off of whatever booster packs you find at an event. So you get 6 booster packs, you build a 40 card deck with it. There's your limited deck. It's got to be based only on the stuff you find from the pack. It's a fun format. It's expensive to do for long periods of time because, of course, you're buying all your stuff. But the rule of 17 lands was something he concocted back then, based on the math of how many times do you have to mulligan to see a 3 or 4 land hand so that you can actually play in this competitive event where money's involved. Yeah. And 17 out of your 40 cards in your deck being lands was the number he came up with. And that number directly correlated to the number we had for 60 card competitive events where you bring a pre-constructed deck, because in those events you run 24 lands. But in Commander, the common knowledge is to run anywhere between 35 and 37 lands. But the math doesn't add up there, because it should be 42.25% of your deck being lands if it lands up with what the competitive results are for the other formats. Yeah. And it turns out everybody, including me, had been building decks incorrectly. A large YouTuber who's actually used to be part of the Commander, not rules committee, but the Wizards of the Coast committee that helped oversee Commander, that was next to the rules committee. And she showed the math on Commander decks and showed that we should be running about 43 decks or 43 lands in our decks instead of the 37-ish that everybody's been running. And I had like a week of just talking with Saki about how much I disagreed with that, and every bit of it was wrong. And every single time I said I disagreed with it, the follow-up was, but I don't have a good reason to, because I can't argue with numbers. I can't argue with the numbers that are right there showing me how wrong I am. I just don't feel like those numbers are right. Yeah. And that's one thing that was addressed in Rebel Lily's video as well. Is she, or not Rebel Lily, in Rebel's video as well, she immediately went, yeah. And the first thing that you're going to say is, that doesn't feel right. And that leads to our first problem. Everybody's way of building land bases is almost all vibes. And I'm like, no, it's not. Wait, hold on a minute. Yes, it is. That's how I've been doing things all the time. So like when I play my decks, I always feel like I have to kind of aggressively mulligan to get the right opening hand. And now I know why. The reason is I was building with an incorrect number of things. And I'm mad at myself because I've been doing this for years. And then somebody comes along and just shows me all the numbers that says, now you've been doing this wrong, and you also don't have a good argument against this.
Yeah. Just going back in the chat a little bit, I think some people might have misunderstood what I said about the junk DNA thing. So the follow-up study was not that 85% of our DNA does have function. It was that it's possible. Like the number, given what we know of DNA from other studies and other calculations and stuff, we know that like the actual functional portion of our genome is rather small. It's hard to put an exact number on it, but they're just like, it's not a problem for reproduction and getting rid of the harmful mutations if 85% or 85 to 90% of it or whatever is actually fully functional. Now, to be fair, or to then go to the other side, there's the ENCODE project that creationists love to cite, which came up and we were like, oh yeah, 80% of the genome is functional. And this is where we get into, it depends how you define function, because the way they defined function was, we found a nucleotide that does literally anything. And so this could be there's two different primary definitions of function in biology. One of them is ad hoc. This is a thing that it is useful for, but it is not necessarily the reason it evolved. And then the other is the reason it evolved. So like the heart evolved to pump blood, but one of the things that it does, that is a function that the heart serves, that is the ad hoc function, is it's a useful diagnostic tool for doctors. It makes a thumping sound that can help doctors diagnose things.
Yeah, it didn't evolve to do that, but doctors use it as a shorthand. So that's
the ad hoc function where like, yeah, this is a thing that it can be used for, but that is not the purpose it evolved for. The purpose it evolved for was to pump blood. And so the ENCODE project used the ad hoc definition of function, and that's another one where like you can be more liberal or more conservative with that one. And if you get liberal enough, technically there's a thing that every single nucleotide in your genome does. It's be replicated. That is a thing that it does. Therefore, even if it has no other function, these nucleotides have the function of being replicated. So you could use that to say, yeah, it actually has 100% function, but that's not actually useful in this discussion.
That's like saying cancer is functional because it can replicate.
Yeah. Paige Wild says that's a pretty low bar. Yeah, that is a pretty low bar. That's why there were literally dozens of papers that came out after ENCODE project being like, hey, these guys are doing it wrong. And some of them were very, very, shall we say, terse in their responses. They did not give any quarter, so to speak.
Couple of things from my chat. Dude Leo in my chat says, was the 40 plus thing ignoring the amount of ramp you have? Yes, it was. And the reason that was given by Rebel makes perfect sense. During a turn where you play a land, you have gone up one land and therefore things are good for you. During a turn where you have missed a land drop but played a ramp spell, you've gotten the same amount of land on your board as you would have by just playing a land, and also now you're down mana. You're just playing inefficiently there, but because you have your lands on board, you're like, it's not that bad. But no, just casting spells does not mean you're doing well. So that was for that one. The other one in my chat was Endlessly Big saying, are you saying 37 lands straight or 37 lands plus MDFCs? So It's 30. It was 37 lands in general, with kind of a soft thing for MDFCs where they count as half a land because half the time you're playing them as a land, half the time you're playing them as a spell. But for Rebel, she's just counting MDFCs as a full land, and with them being even more important to avoid mana flooding later in a game. That's where that breakdown is. So there's even a different way that the lands are being measured by her than how I was measuring lands.
Yeah, okay. Omnifus is asking, didn't Encode later decide that their previous definition of function was bad and revise the number down? I didn't see that, and there's probably a good reason I didn't see that. If that did happen, the reason I didn't see that is because I only see the Encode project come up in response to Creationists, and when looking for counters to the Encode project's findings, it's...
I never hear dinosaur enthusiasts talk about the dinosaur DNA found in bone marrow, but I always hear creationists talk about that.
No, there was no dinosaur DNA found in bone marrow. But yes,
exactly.
I hear creationists talk about that too.
That's my point, Rhino!
I know, those ones are so fun though, because when you actually look into it, it's like, oh, they found... they found structures that were morphologically similar to proteins. And if they some of them have a high enough resolution that they can like work out what the what's it called? The 3-letter sequence of amino acids turns into a... No, it's the base pairs. I don't know. Whatever. I get the terminology wrong. This is why I script my videos, because I Google everything. Even stuff that I've said a million times before. But yeah, no, they can reconstruct the they can kind of backwards reconstruct what the DNA would have been from what amino acids make up the proteins. It's not perfect because there are multiple sequences of nucleobases that can result in the same amino acid. So you can't figure it out exactly, but it's still pretty fucking cool. And it's nothing like what Creationists presented as.
I mean, science is always way more interesting than how Creationists present it.
Mm-hmm.
And more complicated.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, Friday's video. I'm responding to Answers in Genesis Canada again. It's Calvin again, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun one. And then goddamn fucking Force Valkai releases a video today responding to the same fucking guy. It's a different video, but it's also a video that I've responded to. I'm just like,
and now
fuck,
you're just
stepping on my
sad.
toes. Well, no, I'm happy because Force is good. And he actually he found the context for a quote that I couldn't find the source for. Like, I found the paper, but the paper wasn't available online. So he must have used some of his more scholarly connections or something to find the actual paper, because I could not for the life of me find a copy of that thing, and he just pulled it up like it was nothing.
Huh.
I was like, okay.
He's just better at his
glad you
job.
added to the conversation and did so better than me. That is the one where I went crazy and like stabbed an imaginary person behind the camera and then was covered in blood for the rest of the video.
I mean, I too have stabbed a person behind the camera and was covered in blood the entire time afterwards, but I hide behind an avatar, so none of y'all saw that.
I also poured soy milk all over my face for that one, and all over my microphone.
Is your mic okay?
You can tell from the audio, like I use the one that I didn't soy milk all over when I'm recording now, but you can tell from the audio, which you guys will never hear because I'm not going to use that mic anymore. Like, it still works, but you can tell that something is not quite right with it. Like, it sounds a little bit muffled. Like
a little bit of tin.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, Fennec says it was chocolate soy milk. That's because I am committed to the bit. It is actually kind of hard where I am to find soy milk. I went to 3 grocery stores for that soy milk, and none of them had it.
Jassa says that I didn't say imaginary. I know what I said.
Yeah. Yeah, so none of the grocery stores had soy milk. And yeah, I could have gotten almond milk or something, just something that looks like soy milk for the camera. And and I could have done that. But I'm like, no, it has to be actual soy milk. And the last grocery store I went to, they had chocolate soy milk. They did not have white soy milk. So I'm like, fine, I'll get the chocolate soy milk, whatever. And then my stupid, like, I regret doing it because it doesn't, like, it makes the video kind of seem awkward or whatever. Like, after I pour the soy milk all over myself, I, like, look at the camera and I'm like, that's soy milk for you, Ryan. I'm like, oh, that's cringe. Why did I say it like that? But what was going through my head at the time was like, oh, I'm pouring chocolate soy milk all over myself, but it's chocolate. What if people don't know that soy milk can also be chocolate? And they think I'm just, like, drinking chocolate milk. So I better clarify that this is soy milk. And it just happened and it came out. And that's the kind of thing that, like, it would be a whole thing to set up a second take of that. So I wasn't about to do a second take of that. So
you were already knee deep at that point.
As soon as I said it, I was like, oh, that was dumb. I shouldn't have done that. But then I'm like, eh, whatever. It's in there now. So, yeah. Anyway, that's why it's fun to be wrong. You learn new things.
Yay.
So now, Cyrus.
Yeah.
The next story. There is something strange afoot in Bucharest.
What?
God damn it, I had like 50 more puns lined up, but I forgot all of them just now. A guy stole some feet from a hospital. Legs, actually. He got a leg, the puns got a leg up on me.
Yeah, they did. They did.
God damn it, I had a whole thing that was like, oh, it was good, like, it was all like leg puns and foot puns, but I fucking choked. God damn it.
Choked on feet.
Choked on feet, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, unidentified man stole 3 amputated legs from Bucharest hospital. One is still missing. I'm like...
I mean, he stole 3. He was just trying them all on, and he found one of them that worked. So the other ones can come back to you.
Yeah, I want to know what scenario happened where they managed to recover 2 legs, but not the third, and he's still on the loose.
Yeah.
Oh, there's got to be a foot-related thing to being on the lam. God damn it, I'm thinking way too much.
Being on the limb?
Sure. There's got to be a better one than that. Come on.
I'll go out on a limb and find one.
Okay. But, Jassa says he turned the third into a lamp. On the run? Sure. He's on the run. Lord of Uzkalak says Rhino choked on feet. Does this need to be added to his wiki feet page?
He needed the legs so that he could be a more stand-up guy.
He's legged and dangerous. Stand-up guy. Yeah. No, speaking of the wiki feet page, there is a second picture on there now. It's from when one of my kids painted my toenails rainbow. And it is the one that I said someone should go and find. And
do you think he's just a very confused Santa Claus, Rhino? Some kid asked for Legos and, well...
Tripod walks out the front door. News at 11. Oh, Kitsune. He's on the leg of lamb. Mwah. Perfect. No notes. Okay. Yeah, no, I just like, why would someone steal legs? Why?
Yeah, he wouldn't have a leg to stand on in court if he did that.
We already used that one, sirs. Come on.
Yeah, so did Melody Starflare, but I wanted to steal it from her.
Okay. The thief better toe the line. I think that was one that was in my... like, a few of these have been ones that, like, I put in my little thing that I was going to...
God, I hate leg puns, Rhino. I can't stand them.
Do we need to read this? Or was this just an excuse for leg puns?
This was just an excuse for leg puns?
Trying to get a leg up on the competition. He's got a fetish. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, the only reason I can think of that you would want someone's discarded, severed legs is if it's a sex thing.
You're just sitting there wanting to hump legs. So you grabbed many of them to see how it felt.
Also, for the record, I sent the story to the Cognitive Dissonance guys, who on Thursdays they do silly news. So if you hear this on their show and they use a bunch of leg-related puns, I like all of the ones that I planned on using tonight, I sent to them. So he didn't skip leg day. Yeah, but now there are 3 people in the hospital that can't skip anymore because of leg day. It says amputated, so it sounds like formerly attached real ones. Yes, that's what it was. He stole real legs from a hospital. It was shit. I clicked on a button. It was RFK Jr. He was going to barbecue it. God damn it. Jesus. I clicked on a button again. Yeah, anyway, that's the story.
Okay, then.
Just wanted to keep you afoot of the situation. No, that's a breast.
You already used that one!
Yeah, that was the starting one. I'm sorry.
Was this person a necromancer by chance?
I don't know.
Just reminding me.
Last story. This comes to us from 1 Million Moms, because I'm on their mailing list now. And I got
the DEI Bible?
The DEI Bible. Stay away from Zondervan's new DEI Bible. Oh,
what?
This is great. It's the Upside Down Kingdom Bible.
Why?
I don't know. Because you know how, like, every now and then someone will be like, hey, Christians get a bad rap for being anti-LGBTQ, so let's, like, put out something that makes it look less like Christians are that.
Mm-hmm.
And then people like 1 Million Moms come out and be like, no, we are exactly the kind of Christian that people complain Christians are.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, no, you're justifying that whole thing.
Christians get a bad rap. Yeah, and it's Christians' fault they get a bad rap. What more do you want from me?
So I love their fear mongering here. They're telling on themselves so hard in this article. It was like, warning, Zondervan's newest NIV study Bible is unlike other Bibles in that it includes elements of theological and gender diversity. Ugh.
Who cares?
Diversity's so bad and evil. As such, Christians should be aware that this should be called a DEI Bible. DEI is an acronym for diversity, equity, and inclusion, and those are bad things in our eyes.
So a DEI-able?
Yes, a DEI Bible.
It's a DEI-able.
Yes. Is this the Bible that actually points out that Jesus was black and ginger? I don't know. Did someone point out that Jesus was black and ginger? Because I know he wasn't white.
Why do you have a black Jesus? Why do you have a white Jesus?
Mm-hmm. One of Zondervan's newest publications is the Upside Down Kingdom Bible. Think deeply / love widely. But it can be more accurately described as an upside down theology because it includes whoever wrote that thought they were so clever. They thought they were me doing leg puns.
Yeah. Never skip leg puns.
No. Because it includes interpretations of scripture from a woke mindset with opinions based on a magnitude of cultural and sexual perspectives. Heaven forbid we include perspectives
like
in our interpretation.
The cultural and sexual perspective of the original Bible that gives you the exact amount of pence to sell your daughter for. Or, the sexual perspectives on how to handle your concubines and who you can and can't rape that the Bible does talk about.
And tells stories of genocide like it's a good thing, and shows that God is the kind of God who the way he punishes a man whose crime was to rape a lady and then murder her husband was to kill the rape baby in a slow, torturous, painful manner.
Yup.
That's the part of the David
Boy,
story
I
that often gets
love
left out.
I love the DEI Bible.
Just remember, David was described by the Bible as a man after God's own heart, and this man after God's own heart raped a lady, killed her husband, and pretended to be sad when his rape baby got killed by God. Yeah. Yeah, no. Bible's not woke. So if somebody can do something to make it woke, that's actually a good thing. What's funny about this, though, is that like it is specifically an NIV translation, and NIV got into a little bit of hot water in 2011 when they put out their 2011 version, because they did a bunch of things like took a bunch of verses that had nothing to do with sex or gender, but were always done using male pronouns, and they changed them to they. They changed to they them pronouns, and there's so much hullabaloo about how this is like they're tinkering with the word of God. This is the inerrant word of God. We can't just change it like that. They ignored the part where they it's like the 1984 version that came before the 2011 version had added some words into, like in Jesus talking about the mustard seed being the smallest of all seeds. They added the word your in there so to make him not technically incorrect, despite that word not being there at all. So instead of saying the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds, said this is the smallest of all your seeds. So your seeds is a subset of all seeds. So if, maybe it was the smallest seed of the ones that he was talking about. But that wasn't indicated by by any manuscript anywhere. So nobody complained when they removed the your, or when they put it in, for that matter.
And nobody would complain if you put it in your
seed.
No, there's a whole bunch of people in my audience who watch Spy Family, and they're going to understand that joke immediately.
Oh, well, I was taking it to a sex thing and making it about seeds. Putting seeds
I also
in your...
made it a sex thing.
I don't know what thing you were referencing, so... but yeah, so no, they don't care about that. What they care about is the commentary saying that, like, hey, maybe don't hate gay people.
But just look up your Spy X Family. The joke will make instant sense.
Okay, new window.
Her name is spelled Y-O-R.
Ah, shit. The fuck?
What did I just hear?
You heard... I opened up Edge because I know I don't have any window captures going for Edge. And I guess there was a YouTube video that it just decided to autoplay.
Microsoft edging.
So your spy capture?
Spy X Family.
There's an autofill for that. Okay, what is apparent?
It's just putting your seed in your.
Oh.
Because your is a person.
Oh. Okay. Please tell me your is adult.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, age
she
27.
She is an adult and she has a huge body
age
count.
27. That is a little bit on the young side for me. By a little bit, I mean at least 5 or 6 years.
Can we add on the years of all the people she's killed?
No.
Okay. Fair.
Fusel says, I just burned parts of my dick with hot soup. Ouch.
My
condolences.
Why did you put your dick in hot soup?
Because he heard about putting seed in your. Yeah. So, anyway, continuing on, the full-page article and side column study notes included throughout this Bible come from many individuals, including some who praise wokeness. Heaven forbid.
Who cares if they praise wokeness?
This is one of my favorite sentences because of the name of the guy. The diverse contributors enlisted for this project are led by General Editor Dr. Preston Sprinkle, co-founder and president of the Center for Faith, Sexuality, and Gender. His name is Preston Sprinkle.
How can you get mad at that man?
I mean, I'm not going to endorse his viewpoints because I have not done a deep dive into what his viewpoints might be, so I am not comfortable just saying that he's super cool and cash money and all that. But his name is Preston Sprinkle. I feel like if there's going to be a Christian guy advocating for LGBTQ rights, Dr. Preston Sprinkle is the one to do it. And that's his real name. I don't know if he changed it. I tried to find out if if this is like his pen name or something. But there's no indication that he ever changed it. So I think Sprinkle is his real name, and I love it. It's Dr. Preston Sprinkle. It's like how can they're trying to make him sound ominous and scary, but you can't make someone named Dr. Sprinkle scary.
No, not really.
A CFSG website post about his leadership states, "Our collaboration is a growing team of Christian leaders, pastors, scholars, and LGBT plus persons to serve as advisors, writers, speakers, researchers, and board members." Heaven forbid we include people that are going to be affected by this book on the board of an organization that's editing this book.
No, if we have bad things to say about the black people, we need to make sure the black people aren't present for that. If we have bad things to say about the gay people, then we need to make sure they're not present for that.
Yeah, indeed. Dr. Sprinkle is also the host of the Theology in the Raw podcast, which sounds like you're discussing theology while fucking. Like
in the raw.
That is porn that you're reciting Bible verses and stuff while fucking.
I'm okay with this.
Ezekiel 23:20 is a good one for that.
Powerful Paul Rick Goo Goo Syndrome vibes.
I was trying to think of what's a boring Bible verse that would be fun to say during sex.
You're about to come and you just say, "Let there be light"?
Nah.
That's kind of the problem with trying to get boring Bible verses here.
No, it's really easy. I'm just trying to avoid one that's just part of a list. So, Lamech said to his wives, "Ada and Zillah, listen to me." Just reciting that while having sex.
I'm gonna need
"Wives
you to
of
never do that
Lamech,
again.
hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me." See, it immediately makes the Bible better if you picture people saying this while having sex. Because now it's funny.
No.
It's entertaining.
No.
Yes. Strong disagree. Here's a portion of the New Bible's description from Amazon. The NIV Upside Down Kingdom Bible provides hundreds of side column notes, full-page articles, essays, and book introductions that skillfully and thoughtfully address topics such as rape and ethnicity. Not rape, race. Yeah, they wouldn't want to address that because the Bible is very clearly... Oh, Artemis. Yes, did I join in here Bible sex? Yeah, we're starting a Pornhub channel where the porn performers, while they are having sex, they're reciting boring Bible verses to make the Bible more interesting.
Yeah, it's 100% Rhino's idea, and I want nothing to do with it. But here I am. I am.
That's the theme of this channel, Cyrus. Full-page essays and book introductions that skillfully and thoughtfully address topics such as race, ethnicity, creation care. I don't know what creation care is. Science, abortion, wealth and poverty, gender and sexuality, politics, baptism, technology, and others. Now, I'm not going to hold my breath and say this comes out and is actually properly affirming, because they do have to contend with some very obvious anti-LGBTQ stuff in the Bible. There are ways that it can be interpreted in non-anti-LGBTQ ways, but that takes a lot of wiggling and twisting. And I feel like this is my gut feeling says that this is going to come down on the side of love the sinner, hate the sin sort of thing, which is not actually great.
Wiggle and twist. What?
Should I say Bible verses while doing it?
Maybe.
There she lusted after her lovers, whose genders were like those of donkeys, and admissions were like those of a horse.
Ralph, it is 9:30. It is not 10 o'clock yet. It is not time.
Mine's missing. What?
Puddles has disappeared.
Oh. Sorry. She just heard... She's not watching the stream, but she's sitting over there, so she just heard me recite the Bible verse about donkey dicks and horse cum, and then I like leaned back and like looked under the desk because that's where Puddles' bed is, because I was seeing if Puddles was there, but she didn't see that that's what I was doing. She just thought I was like checking to see if the horse cum is overwhelming.
I mean, I imagine horse cum would be kind of overwhelming. If there's too much of any kind of cum, it's a little overwhelming.
I would think. In one Amazon review, the Bible is described as a refreshingly new approach to a study Bible. Oh, I know, that's terrible. How dare they be refreshingly new?
Why would you want there to be new experiences? The only experiences we can have are old ones.
Yeah, there's only so many times you can read the same book over and over again.
All right, fine, Growlithe. Come on. Let's go. Let's go, girl. It's not even 10. Your clock is off.
Oh my god.
Jennifer, you too. Come on, bud.
What do we do while Cyrus is flopped over like that? Check out my donkey text? Is that what you just said?
Donkey dick.
Check out my donkey dick. Okay. That's worse. Oh, Artemis just redeemed a hydrate. I was just about to do that anyway, so you wasted your points. But thank you. Tell us a joke, Rhino. I don't know. I don't do jokes on command. VR, I like you. I do not need to know about your penis. Okay. You want to see my finger again? Oh, hats. More hats. Where'd I put the hats? There they are. It is our donkey cum, comrade.
All right, I have returned.
So while you were gone, we were comparing my penis to my swollen finger and seeing which one people would rather see.
Yep.
And then I put on the hat and was like, it is our donkey cum, comrade, to which Jake says, comrade. Anyway, finishing off the story, they say it's a new approach to study Bible, but a liberal Bible would be more accurate description based on the editor's point of view.
I mean, liberal's not a fucking insult. Why?
They think it is.
They're stupid.
Jesus was a communist.
Cool.
Actually, no, I don't know that Jesus would be considered a communist, but Paul certainly was. He certainly advocated for some stuff that fits very nicely into the communist oeuvre. Like that
God
whole...
fucking damn it, clueless expert. Fine. There, you got your thing. Go away. Leave. Bye. Go to Rhino's stream. He tolerates that fucking shenanigans.
I record those fucking shenanigans.
Yes, I know.
Alex Merkel says, Rhino, you know YouTube is the ultimate arbiter of which you can show. I am aware of that. I actually think it's weird that, like, I feel like my gross finger is more distasteful than a penis. Yet I can show my gross finger all I want. And there's nothing y'all can do about it except complain in the chat and, I guess, stop watching. But if I show my dick, I get taken down. Not that I want to. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah?
Because, like, I'd rather look at a dick than someone's swollen, gross, pus-filled finger.
Dark Excalibur, thank you for gifting a community sub. I appreciate it.
Duct Tape Jake says, I'm unaware of the gross finger. What did I miss? Fennec, I don't want to see either of those things. Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm not going to show it again. Don't worry. Yeah, no, I
will.
I have an infected cuticle, and it got so bad that I actually had to go to the doctor for it. And so I was telling chat that, like, hey, they all yelled at me to go to the doctor for my black and swollen toe. I'm like, nope, didn't go for that. went from my finger. But yeah. So scripture is extremely clear about Ezekiel in Ezekiel 13:10 through 12 and Matthew 18:6 about the consequences of leading others astray. Well, I don't know Ezekiel 13:10 through 12 off the top of my head, but Ezekiel 23:20 is the donkey dick one, so that's only 10 chapters away. Anyway.
Also, thank you very much, Princess of Iona, for not one but two wolves. Now that you're on the right side of history, we can all be happy.
Ezekiel 13, what was it? Yeah, too far down. 10 through 12. Let's do ESV. I like the ESV. Precisely because they have misled my people, saying peace when there is no peace, and because when people build a wall, the prophets will smear it and whitewash it. I say to those who smear it with whitewash that it shall fall. Oh, is this? I think this might be. I don't know for sure, and I'm not reading that whole thing right now, but there's a spot in, it might be Ezekiel, where God actually gave people bad laws so that he would have an excuse to wipe them out later. So, like, God actually lied to people about what was the right thing to do so that he could then be like, ha, you did the thing I told you to do, and that's actually evil, so you're getting wiped out now.
Why?
Because
Why, God? Why are you a
that's
fucking idiot?
That's one of my go-to examples whenever Answers in Genesis says God cannot lie.
Also, Melody Starflare, I'm so tired. Why are you like this? Ooh, again, you got two of them now. You guys should be fine. Sated. Happy even.
Sure. Okay. That is it for the articles tonight.
Now we get to make fun of people.
Now we get to make fun of people. Let's look at Puddles again before we go. Here's Puddles.
Hi, Puddles.
Playing the floor is lava.
Let's make fun of you. Okay, we're done.
She's too cute. You can't make fun of her, except for calling her, what was the word? Scrungly?
Scrungly, apparently, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Fennec's got enough points to redeem another ooh. Do it. Do it, Fennec. Do it. That dog looks so sad. Yes, that dog does look sad because when we put the diaper on her, she does not want to walk on the floor. She will sit on anything, and when we took away the pillow that she was sitting on before, she found something else to sit on. And she was just sitting there like that.
Lol.
Yeah.
Sean Helfin, thank you for being on the right side of history with no woe. You're a better person for it.
Yeah. Sure. Or as Rhino's finger would say, ow, ow. Indeed.
Okay.
Artemis says, what ceasefire agreement? I saw something about a ceasefire agreement, and Trump is apparently taking credit for it despite not being in power yet, which I'm not surprised about. And I didn't read it because we're avoiding serious news on this show because it was getting depressing. Because all the news was, things suck now. Things suck even more now. So I decided to go for silly stuff, like a guy stole some amputated legs. It's not all silly stuff. Some of it was like, we had a good discussion about the joy of being wrong. But yeah, anyway. On to some tweets, shall we? We're starting with the Ark encounter. So that's fun.
Yay, my favorite thing.
Ark encounter says no fish or other sea creatures needed to be on the Ark because most would be able to survive in the floodwaters.
You mean even the freshwater ones? The freshwater ones were able to survive?
Actually, I don't think the freshwater ones would have an issue because the amount of water that was dumped in would be such that, like, it would essentially turn all of the oceans into freshwater. So the freshwater ones would be okay. Let's back it up a bit. I have to caveat.
Saltwater ones die.
Yes, absolutely, you're right. But I do have to caveat this. In order to get to the point where we're worried about water salinity, we have to worry about the fact that the latent heat of vaporization would provide, like with the amount of water that was being provided, would result in enough Actually, no, it's not just the latent heat of vaporization. There's also this is when they say the continents moved. So between the latent heat of vaporization and the continents moving, there would have been enough heat produced during the flood to completely boil away 25 kilometers of water on the surface of the earth, like on top of the surface of the earth. And lest you think this is just me pulling numbers out of my ass, this comes to us from creationist geologist John Baumgartner. He calculated this back in the 90s, and creationists have just ignored it.
Even their own math can only be considered when it's convenient for them.
His conclusion from that paper was, hey guys, this doesn't work with the laws of physics. We have to allow God to do a miracle. So his literal conclusion of his paper was, it's magic, guys. Come on. Stop trying to pretend that magic wasn't involved. It's clearly impossible without magic. So yeah, to say like, oh no, the sea creatures would have been fine in this, you know, super duper hot boiling ocean thing that doesn't exist anymore because it flash boiled away. But assuming that, assuming we can ignore the heat, I think there's enough fresh water coming in the form of rain that it would essentially dilute the salt enough that freshwater fish would be fine, but then all the marine fish are dead. And yeah, they say most fish, not all. I might be wrong on this one, but if I were to hazard a guess, I would say most fish are marine. So the oceans are fucking big. But yeah, no, so if you're unaware of how fish drink, it's actually a completely different process depending on whether they're saltwater fish or freshwater fish. Because saltwater fish actually have to drink. They have to ingest water because the salt in the water around them through osmosis will pull water out of their systems. So they actually have to drink the water as they go, and they have processes in their bodies to take care of the salt or whatever. Freshwater fish do not have to drink. They just absorb the water from living in it. And those are two completely different systems. There are a few fish that they do have the capability to adjust to different salinity levels, but the vast majority of fish change the salinity level in a hurry like that, they're just dead. Like, if anyone in the chat has ever tried to take care of a saltwater fish tank, those things are finicky as fuck. You get the salt level wrong, all your fish just die.
My favorite, when my fish die because literally anything happened, they breathed wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jesus.
Fish are not easy things to keep alive. They need very specific conditions, and that's why global warming and the heating of the oceans is really fucking bad for them.
But don't worry, it's not that bad. Yeah. For reasons creationists will always try to point to.
Yeah, so they just like, oh no, it's fine, it's water, and fish live in water, so water's fine for fish, it's fine.
No,
but then they're ignoring that AIG likes to take the Bible literally, and they talk frequently about how Noah took all the animals in which there was the breath of life, and when they're talking about insects, they're like, oh well, insects don't breathe in lungs, so technically they don't have the breath of life. Never mind that they do still breathe, they just don't breathe into a specific organ called the lung. Okay, you know what does breathe in lungs?
People?
No, I'm thinking more along the lines of this tweet. Dolphins,
sea
whales,
creatures that breathe through their lungs, yeah.
Manatees.
Literally any sea mammal.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Lungfish, bashir, mud skippers, gouramis.
I'm beginning to get increasingly unfamiliar with all of these fish.
Beta fish have lungs. So a lot of fish need to be on the ark because they breathe the breath of life into lungs.
Ugh. Remember I said also the waters of the deep would be salty. I don't know how much creationists can account for specific areas with specific salt levels.
I don't know that any of them have even tried. That's not even a question that I had thought to ask.
Like maybe the deepest waters are going to be more salty, true, but does that actually matter here? Because not every saltwater fish that typically lives on the surface will be able to handle the pressure of going that far deep underwater.
Yep.
So like, yeah, they've got the salt, but other things required for their living environments are just missing.
Oh, yeah, and they're talking about other water life. So, like, yeah, there's things like coral, crustaceans, bacteria. All sorts of things live in the oceans. More things live in the oceans than live on land, I think.
I believe that's true because we haven't actually cataloged everything that lives in the ocean.
We haven't cataloged everything that lives anywhere.
True.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. The Babylon Bee. Trump announces plan to annex Canada and rename it Gay North Dakota. Get it? It's funny because we said Canadians are gay.
Yay. I like it when we make fun of the gay people. I don't know why we do it.
This is too lazy to even get offended at. Like, come on, at least put some effort in. Like, really? Gay North Dakota. That's the best you could come up with.
Yep. Endlessly Big says Babylon Bee. Yeah, the Babylon Bee is a self-proclaimed parody news outlet, but
they try to be the Christian Onion, but they're not clever enough to actually pull it off.
No, they are not.
Like Lumberjack, North Dakota. I don't know, maybe that's where the gay comes from, because they thought lumberjack, and then lumberjack looks like bears, so they're all gay.
You're a lumberjack and you're okay. You work all night and you sleep all day.
Yep. I know that song. That's the second Canadian national anthem. Darwin to Jesus says, if atheists really bought into their own worldview, they wouldn't care about things like children getting bone cancer. That's just natural selection getting rid of some inferior genetics.
That's not how natural selection works to begin with.
God damn it. Icker. No, Liz Chris.
Also, what part of if Christians actually subscribe to their worldview, they wouldn't care about a kid getting cancer because that kid's just going to go to heaven.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they don't, so that tracks. They only care about kids being taken care of before they're born. Yeah.
Preborn, we love you. Preschool, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm. So what I found interesting about this is that of all the gifts they could have chosen to have someone being like, yeah, what you gonna do, sort of thing, like that kind of shrug. There's so many of them. They decided to go with the one that's a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like, that was a choice that they made.
Do you think that's them calling us the Nazis or the other one?
I think that's the intent, is that they're trying to say that, like, oh, this is like eugenics. So this is atheists or eugenicists or whatever, and that's a Nazi thing. But the way it comes across is that, like, the Nazis supposed to be agreeing with them here. Like, the Nazis on their side with the, like, oh, see? You don't actually do that, right? Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. That's a bit. It feels kind of yikesy.
Yeah. Just a smidge a lot.
Yeah. And it's Darwin to Jesus, so, like, there's a history there.
You don't actually have to give benefit of the doubt where he's concerned.
Yeah. And while I have not seen Inglourious Bastards, I do know this scene because everybody knows it. Ooh, that's a bingo. because it was a great performance. Okay, Elon Musk. This one I thought you might have some thoughts on. Says, video games are meant for you to be immersed in an exciting and creative alternative reality and have fun with friends. Adding present-day politics bullshit kills the vibe.
No, it does not. So I can give a couple of examples to this. Actually,
can you? Oh, I did not think that you'd be able to, Cyrus.
One of the most famous examples, actually, is Metal Gear Solid, where the entire premise of every game is about trying to avoid a nuclear apocalypse, but it's not from, like, the grandiose, there's an evil government corporation that's going to do something. It's literally, some fucking America's doing something political and we need to do something about that. That's all it is. The fucking Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, the final boss of that game, the big bad of that game, is not some, like, mega ultra god of reality. No, it's a senator. It's Senator goddamn Armstrong. What's every speech he ever uses in the entire game based on? It's just glorifying capitalism. That's all. It's all political. It is one of the most political fucking games on the planet, and it is a universally appraised, praised series.
Pick any game that is takes place in a future dystopia, and
Cyberpunk.
Undoubtedly the cause of that future dystopia being what it is something in current political discourse.
Yeah, like that's just the plot of Cyberpunk. The entire dystopia happens in there because of corporations, or the plot of the Outer Worlds. Outer Worlds is the same thing. There's a giant dystopia, or the dystopia was created because capitalism got too out of hand, went too far. Let's see here. What other examples could I bring up? Fallout. That's another one where the apocalypse happened because of the Neo-Cold War. Let's see. What other examples could immediately come to mind would be really easy? Like Detroit Become Human. Become Human.
Yeah.
Coming out during the same time that we were seeing the beginnings and the escalations of the BLM riots. God, the poetic irony. Jesus Christ.
And these are all pretty well acclaimed games. Like these
are very well known, well acclaimed.
You're talking about games that I've heard of, Cyrus.
Yeah, I'm not having to go into
some
like
of these
some
games
indie
I've
backlog.
even played. I haven't gotten far in Detroit Become Human, but I have played it.
Also, you know, anytime that somebody says that it's cringe when you talk about Nazis in your game or some shit, Castle Wolfenstein. The entire Wolfenstein series is just about ripping out Nazi testicles and shoving them up their noses. Like that is the plot of those games. If you want to say adding present day political bullshit, the funny thing about that phrase is it is a masked phrase. It doesn't look like a masked phrase, but it 100% is a masked phrase. The mask is when you say present day political bullshit, it's Elon not saying the specific thing he doesn't want in his games, but you are inserting whatever specific thing you don't want in your games. Do you not like black people as the protagonist of your games? That's your present day political bullshit. Do you not like gay people in your video games? That's your present day political bullshit. Oh, by the way, the fact that the romance options in Baldur's Gate 3 run the gamut of polyamorous to gay to bi to whatever the fuck it is when you fuck a mind flayer, that's present day political bullshit if you don't like the gays.
Sorry. We have to update. Do you know about the bear yet?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I know what the bear speed run is, and it's less exciting now that I know.
Okay. Did you find out organically, or was it spoiled for you?
It was not spoiled for me. I moved, so I both found out organically and had it spoiled.
Okay.
Because here's what happened. I have spent my campaign romancing Shadowheart. Maybe it's the fact that her entire story is about her worshiping a god that she ends up forsaking, and she realizes that that god actually was responsible for a heinous amount of bad things in the world and is not a good person to be worshipped in the first place. So maybe there's something about that resonates with me. It's 100% that. So I've been trying to work on Shadowheart, and there's a moment in the game where you get to choose a person in your camp to sleep with. Everybody is drunk and having a great old party, and every character's advances on mine made sense based on how much I knew about and how much I knew from them. Like Asterion made sense. He's a vampire fuckboy. He's gonna fuck a thing if it moves. Cool. Lae'zel tried to sleep with me, but that made sense too because early in her story, she is jealous of any good thing that happens to Shadowheart, who's the character I was romancing. And so her dialogue is her directly taking the piss at Shadowheart because she knows that that's who I was going to go with. Halsin, the fucking druid, made no goddamn sense to me. And the fact that all of my dialogue options after that night were my character trying to apologize to him for me coming on to them, which was not a fucking thing that happened. And then when the bear thing was explained to me by Noah, I went to the card shop and he did the same follow-up you did. He explained the Halsin thing, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, and that's annoying, because why was my character apologizing for him wanting to fuck me? Jesus Christ.
You missed the chance to have sex with a bear.
Sephi says, when did we get to romance the Cthulhu-S being? The Emperor. The Emperor literally has a moment later in the game where you have a chance to romance him, and he says words like, would you like it if I flirted with you? Like, very, very weird things come out of that man's, it's not really a mouth, it's more of a cloaca in his mouth. But whatever the fuck a mind flayer is, they don't really have genders.
Yeah. Okay, well, glad we had that update. Is that present day political bullshit?
I mean, if it has gay people in it, yes. Because fun fact.
That's where you get if you allow the kids to have litter boxes in classrooms. You end up fucking bears in video games.
So as we've been going through the game, there's so much shit in this game, and there's so many decisions to make. Every now and again, me and Saki have like gone onto Reddit and seen what decisions other people made after we've made our decisions, so that we know that like, was this something that people generally did, or is this a thing we're going to have to regret going forward? So as we look on Reddit, there's one moment where the fact that some of the characters are gay is brought up in conversation, because, you know, of course, it's Reddit, and somebody just immediately starts spouting off about how shitty it is that there's gayness in the video game, and I'm just like, what? My guy, shut the fuck up. I don't care that during our playthrough, Saki was able to fuck Karlach. I don't give a shit. I'm happy that I was able to both play as a female character so that I don't have to stare at a male character the entire time and still romance Shadowheart, because that would have been kind of shitty if like the punishment was now my character has to go do something I don't want to do, which is fuck a dude.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's woke present day political bullshit because you're able to make a girl with a penis in Baldur's Gate.
Oh no.
And there's like, it's not even like an option where you click it and it just goes, yes, your character's genitalia is this. No, you get to just change your schlong size and you just get to see it. And it's actively out there in cutscenes if you go into them unclothed.
Fucking pronouns!
I knew I had the button for that somewhere.
Sephi, no, Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have Drizzt. Drizzt is there's only a handful of characters from Baldur's Gate 1.
I don't know
in
any of
3.
them. Oh, you're talking to your chat, aren't you?
Yes. Drizzt is the drow from the Legend of Drizzt book series, and also he's a character who's important for the first couple games. He's talked about in Baldur's Gate 3. He's not in Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay. I have no idea who any of these people are.
Dark Excalibur says Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't have Drizzt because I killed him in Baldur's Gate 1 to steal his scimitars.
My D&D group used to roll for dick and chest size with a D100. I love that. What's the max on that? What happens if you hit a nat 100? Because here's the thing. At a certain point, a large penis becomes more of a liability than an asset. So, like, if you get a D100, that's, like, supposed to be a a good thing, is it not? But 100 inches. Oh my God, no. That would be horrifying. That's what I mean. Is like, yeah, no. Like it's supposed to be a good thing if you get the nat 100, but 100-inch dick is not going to be a good thing.
1 inch per roll.
You get 8D bludgeoning weapon. I love it. I love it. That's amazing.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh. Okay. Frank Turek says, why are Christians sometimes hesitant to seek help through counseling or therapy? I don't know, Frank. Maybe because you guys demonize counseling and therapy all the time? Just throwing that out there?
Yeah. Also, just out of curiosity, why is the good Lord not helping you with those issues?
Yeah, my therapist partner just came into the room pouting me like, but I just want to help. Yeah. Rhino was right. Did you see that one pole vaulter?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yep, we all saw the pole vaulter. But yeah, no, like Frank Turek will get out there and talk about how therapy is bad. All therapists are woke nowadays. They're into the DEI and all that bullshit. And then he has the audacity to post on Twitter, like, how come Christians are hesitant to seek help through therapy?
Gee, I wonder.
Ben Briggs, do you not know about the pole vaulter? Do I have to find the video for the pole vaulter? Videos. Okay. Click on this video.
French pole vaulter becomes internet.
Nope, we don't
I
need your
hate
fucking
everything
AI
about what I
bullshit.
just heard.
Yeah.
French pole vaulter becomes internet celebrity overnight.
Yeah, no, it's not even the video. It's just still images. Fuck you, you AI schlop. That's 2 hours long. I'm not going to look for it in there. God damn it, why is this video so hard to find? Okay. Come on. Why?
French pole vaulter hates women. I don't know.
Okay, the video was so easy to find before. Okay, what's his fucking name? Anthony...
I don't remember.
Anthony Ammirati? Yeah, there we go. That doesn't sound French, that sounds Italian. Is that the same fucking French thing? Yeah, no, there's just, why can nobody just show the video? There is a video of it. So why is it all still images? And like, this fucking YouTube video is even called, like, in the title it says Anthony Ammirati video, but it's just still images, but with a guy talking about it. NBC owns it. Okay. So let's... NBC. Will I get pulled down if I show this?
Steffi says, "Are you talking about the one where the guy's dick touched the pole?" Yes.
Yes. He lost at the pole vault because he hit it with his penis and it knocked it off.
Yeah, he lost the battle, but he won the war. That man's
Yes.
getting free dates for life.
Yes. Okay, come on. This is some guy with a neck tattoo, but like through a filter. Okay, whatever. That's enough time wasted trying to find a video of a pole vaulter hitting his dick. Oh, Fennec found it and is posting it. There we go. Fine, Fennec. There we go. I don't know how well this is going to show up with the crop, but here we go. boing.
Wheeling.
And I don't know what that is. Wee wee. So up he goes, and he knocks it off with his dick. So there you go. That's what I spent this whole time looking for.
You did it.
I did. No, Fennec did it. I just clicked the link. Yeah, anyway, that was worth the diversion. Next, Matt Wallace. This one was sent to me by someone. I forget who sent it, but it was a person. One of my regulars. Oh, damn, I saw
Rumors are circulating the Pacific Palisades fire was started by a satanic ritual.
Yeah.
Those aren't rumors are circulating. That's you made some shit up.
Yeah, so fun fact, the person who sent this to me sent the screenshot in the email, but because I have a policy where I only show screenshots that I myself have taken, I went to find it for myself to make sure that it's like not that I'm accusing this person of making stuff up, but yeah, no, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep with my policy, so I find the screenshot. So I searched for their username with the words "rumors are circulating." They start so many of their tweets with "rumors are circulating," and it's all bullshit, all of it, 100% of it. So it's like, okay, so this is just one of those accounts. This is like those YouTube video accounts that like it's all just conspiracy nonsense, and somehow it's like really, really boring. But
how do you make
people
conspiracy
watch it.
nonsense boring?
Like, no, like they put out like a video every day that's like an hour long, and it's the same video every time, but like they've just restated the same things, and it's always conspiracy nonsense.
Oh, it's those boring people.
Yeah. So this is the Twitter version of that. Yeah.
Great. My favorite.
Yeah. So pay close attention where the location began. The address stems from behind this creepy red roof mansion that is straight out of a horror movie. So, oh fuck you, Jessa. Are you saving up your points just so you can make me hurt?
That's
When
wow.
I finally cave in, I'm like, okay, I know they like the octopus hat, but this one actually does irritate me, so I'm going to take it off now. And as soon as I take it off, you're just like, fuck you. You don't get any. Your forehead doesn't get any relief. Put on another hat, bitch.
So you just now discovered this aspect of Jassa.
Of course not. So yeah, basically they're saying the address that the fire started at, which I don't know that there is an address that the fire started at. Like, didn't they charge someone with arson because of it?
I don't know. I haven't seen enough about it.
Okay. I think someone got charged for arson, but I haven't seen anything about it being started at an address. Apparently Jake has 21,000 points on my channel, or on my Twitch. Oh, God. Tempted to mail you the hat from Back to the Future? What hat is that? I'm not familiar with that hat off the top of my head. No, I'm not going on another Google tangent. They say, I am launching a full investigation into the neighborhood and the owners of those compounds.
Are you, though?
No, they're looking at things on Google Maps, and if it looks creepy to them, that'll be more proof.
Like, I don't know if they know what launching an investigation means.
A full investigation, sir. It's not just any investigation, it's a full investigation.
A full investigation. Oh, yeah.
What I love, though, is the elites will never again be able to operate in the shadows. All right, so in order to believe whatever conspiracy nonsense this is, you have to believe that the Satanists were burning down their own headquarters, because why else would the mansion being creepy matter, unless that was where they were operating from? So they're burning down their own headquarters, and this was a plan that the elites had when they burnt down the Palisades in California?
Man,
I'm sorry?
the elites' plans fucking suck.
Like, hey, let's burn down our own shit. No, the elites are all on the East Coast. I don't know what the
Those-
West Coast ones are.
Those East Coast elites.
Like
Fuck
like
them.
Donald Trump. Actually, speaking of which, my favorite part of this is like the elites will never again be able to operate in the shadows. Like they're not even trying to operate in the shadows, dude. Like, have you seen Trump and who he's appointing to various shit? Like his cabinet's just full of billionaires. That's the elites. Like it doesn't get more elite than owning more wealth than the rest of the nation combined.
It doesn't get more elite than being an East Coast billionaire.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how much more elite you can get. Like, so like they're not even trying to operate in the shadows. So,
Nope.
yeah,
Not even a little bit.
not even a little bit. Smash Bales says, reminder, the Bible literally says women ruling over a nation is evidence of God's judgment. And this was accompanied with a video of women questioning Pete Hegseth at his his confirmation hearing.
That sounds like a good reason to have women in power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like this is just some mask off. We don't want women in charge of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much I care. Honestly. Like, women can be in charge of things.
Also, I'm pretty
It's
sure
fine.
I'm pretty sure smash bales is a bit of a dog whistly thing. Like smashing bales is biblical talk for destroying other people's cultures and religion.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So
Would not surprise me. I don't know. At some point I get tired of thinking about whether or not something is a dog whistle because it doesn't matter anymore.
there are so
They
many
don't
of
have
them.
to
Yeah, they
fucking
don't-
dog whistle at this point.
Yeah, they can just say it. They just say it with their full chest. God, my finger is so lumpy. Ugh,
It's fucking gross, buddy.
it is gross.
And we'll have to know all about it.
Well, if it's still a problem next week, then I got bigger issues than what it is
You'll
now,
have
I guess.
you'll have bigger issues. You'll have bigger issues than your finger because your finger will be bigger.
Yeah. Okay, Vanessa. I'm pretty sure this is a joke tweet. I'm 90% certain this is a joke tweet, but I still thought it was funny, so I'm sharing it anyway. It says, I got charged $1 for being a white American. This is racist bullshit. So, one classic burger, white American, $1.
That's white American cheese.
Yes, it is.
This white American cheese.
I am 90% certain that this person is aware of that and was just making a joke based on the level of they were quite funny in the replies. Like they weren't taking it seriously at all. So
Jesus Christ.
I appreciate a good shitpost. What the fuck is white American cheese? It's yellow. So fun fact, the way I found this tweet was from George Takei reposting it, making a joke about like he used to have the same problem with yellow American cheese. So he's like, okay, I can't make that joke, but I can go find this tweet and take that screenshot. Crackers love cheese.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the actual natural color of American cheese is white.
I'm sorry, did you just call American cheese natural? Is anything about American cheese natural? What
Depends
the fuck?
on who makes it. I used to work for Boar's Head.
No, the stuff that we call American cheese up here in Canada is not natural.
Okay,
It's like either like Kraft singles slices or Velveeta.
right. So again, used to work for Boar's Head, or technically used to work for Publix and had to take a class from Boar's Head to
Now,
get my license from Boar's
Are you talking
Head.
about American cheddar?
So
Because there's a
technically,
difference between American cheddar and American cheese.
So fun fact: the only difference between American cheddar and American cheese is how much of the emulsifying agent is in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what makes American cheese American cheese.
You take the cheese out and put more of another thing in.
I mean, by that logic, adding more salt to something makes it not that thing anymore.
Depends how much salt you add. You add enough salt, it's no longer that thing. It is salt with some of that thing in it. It's all about the ratios, man. You fuck up the ratios, you fuck up the product. Just ask my partner about Reese's peanut butter cups and any product they have ever made other than the original Reese's peanut butter cup sometime, because they fuck up the ratio and it's not a peanut butter cup. Yeah, Hitchmeister says Kraft slices are not American cheese. Yeah, you're right. I was using shorthand there because people know what Kraft slices are. But I should probably read the rest. American cheese is real cheese emulsified, so it melts better.
That's why I said it's literally cheddar with an emulsifying agent.
Okay, but Kraft slices are actually Canadian, believe it or not, because Kraft was Canadian. He's actually from Fort Erie, which is the town that I live in. We have a Kraft Road in here, which is where he set up his first factory.
So, but the Reese's pumpkins and Christmas trees are the best.
No, they're not. The ratio's wrong. They're okay.
Also,
they are tolerable.
Also, Kraft singles are definitionally an American cheese. Not in the sense that the dude was American, but American cheese is a broad category, of which Kraft singles are in that category.
Livia Williams says, people don't forget to like Rhino. You need to get better at asking for engagement. Yeah.
I forget to like Rhino all the time.
Fair. That's fair. So I actually, the opening to my next video that I haven't recorded yet actually makes a joke about how bad I am at asking for engagement. So yeah, it's like the big it's a video that I'm responding to the first video in a series, and so I'm like, if there's enough interest, maybe I'll turn it into a series of my own. And I'm like, so comment down below if you want me to continue this as a series, but realistically it'll be the view count that does that. So if you really want it, share this video and keep playing it on a loop in the background tab somewhere so that it gets all the views and everything.
You could just say, I'm really bad at asking for engagement, and then you get down on one knee and literally ask the audience for engagement.
Well, the way this bit is going to end is with me yelling, "God damn it, Piper, roll the intro already!" Followed by the intro.
Fair enough. The old things are getting too awkward. Please bring the intro to make it less awkward, but I definitely staged all of this from the beginning.
Yep, no, it's
I've done that a billion
it's all
times.
Natural. This is
yeah,
is me.
like American cheese.
It's all full circle. Okay, I think that's the last tweet because V is fairly far down in the alphabet. Yep, goes right back to A.
Jesus Christ.
So there we go. That was the last tweet. Oh, I'm not on the right screen with my OBS anymore.
Agamotto, thank you for subscribing. Also, thank you for redeeming your points for an ada, you fucking degenerate.
Salt is a spice, and spices and maybe salts just enhance food taste. So yes, salt belongs naturally.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't saying salt is unnatural.
Did you know that food also contains emulsifying agents naturally? Did you know that most enzymes operate as emulsifying agents, and your fucking spit contains that? I don't
two on that thing.
God damn it!
Where did you expect me to go with that?
Now you're gonna make a bad crypto coin and rug pull it from me.
What would my crypto coin be called?
Rhino coin?
No, that's too boring.
Horn coin?
Maybe, but probably not. Pus-filled finger coin.
Yeah. My fingers filled with pus so it can fill you up.
Not everybody can come when they're finger banging someone else. Okay, we gotta end it here. We can't. No, it's just gonna get worse. As
It's
always,
gonna get worse before it gets better.
yeah, as always, fuck off.